All right, my man. Listen, before we start the show, you can hear me, right?
Yep.
Okay. Before we start the show, I want to play something for you, and I want your opinion afterwards. Now, full disclosure, this comes from the Pajama Pant podcast, which is two people from The Sopranos. Um, Jamie's Signers, I can't remember her last name, and AJ Anthony Jr. I can't remember his name either, but I'm in and out on their podcast, and I follow them, and there's a story that's told, and it like I need your opinion on this because I think it's hilarious. So I'm gonna
All
play
right.
it. If you can't hear it, stop me early so it doesn't annoy.
Okay.
Okay, okay, here we go. And crank up my volume first. And she was confident. She was down. They'd been dancing all night and partying, drinking, whatever. He doesn't even know where she came from. And they go back to the hotel room. She takes off her pants and he starts traveling south and he notices an odor. Oh. And she just looked at him and she said, "Stinks, don't it?" Yeah, hell yeah. Okay. So, like, okay. First of all, okay, so the actual like they talk a little bit more about it, but like a fucking crazy story. But they also say that like they danced on like she was wearing a leather skirt as well. So like I want to add that in because it's like I think it's an important piece of information. I'm gonna crack my white claw and I want your opinion on that. Let's do this, baby.
Well, salute.
Yeah. Okay.
First of all, first of all, ew,
Yo,
fucking
but we all
nasty.
been there. We don't act like your ding don't stink.
I mean, everybody's junk stinks,
Right.
But well, there's nothing worse. There's nothing like a huge turnoff when you're about to get hot and heavy, and you go down, and that ratchet stank just comes and whiffs you right in the face, man, brother. That's like one of the biggest turnoffs ever.
Okay. But so okay, so here's like I love the conviction she tells that story in. She tells that story and then she's the girl's obviously confident and like she knows what's up. Like, she obviously smells what's going on, but she's confident in it. Almost to say like it's bad, but do you want it more? Do you want it more than it smells? Right? So it's like, oh shit. Okay, like she knows what's up. Like it's not the elephant in the room. She already addressed it. Maybe it's time. Let's get into it. Let's cut this cake. I don't know, like, right? Or we just run for the hills.
I think she was so confident that this guy was gonna put it in no matter what
I
because
think so too.
she could work around it, he could dance around it, and
Exactly.
she's like, "Let it be, man. I smell like a fish fillet sandwich. I smell like a fish fillet sandwich, man.
Yeah.
Come get
Like,
it."
like who knows? Like, it doesn't say like what time of the year it is, but like maybe they're based in California, so like maybe it's hot. Plus they're sweaty. Plus she's wearing a leather skirt. Dude, I as soon as I heard that, I was laughing so hard because the guys were like, "Yeah, man, yeah," and like so there's two guys in the pod, and I don't know what orientation one guy is. Like, I don't know if he's gay or not,
Mhm.
but the other guy isn't gay. So he's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, she nails it because she's obviously confident, and it works. Like she probably got some great moves. The other guy was like, "I don't know, man. Like it's so weird." So I was like, "This is perfect for me and Mel on Milk and Cookies because it's like so wacky." All right, that's like a little palate cleanser. Like get us in the mood, get our juices flowing. Ready to do this?
Is it wrong that I think I could smell it?
All right.
Damn, girl. Let's get it though.
What's up, Nana Nation and lovers of Milk and Cookie? This is your Not Safe for Work podcast. If you listen to this, you better have those earphones in. You listening to this, you better keep those panties dry. I'm joined by the milkman himself, Melky. What's up, baby?
Yeah, I'm always doing things the Milky Way. We're under a lockdown, unfortunately, so I'm crumbling like a bad cookie right now.
Mm.
So let me out, let me free. I'm not meant to be caged up like an animal. How are you
Oh,
doing, baby?
yeah, man. I feel the same way. But, I got two young kids at home. Like, under the ages of 4, two under the age of 4, and for me, even like the weather's not even great. Like once it goes below 0 and the sun's not out, like it's miserable to be out there. They're in their snowsuits. They got like a thing of snot gobbing down. Like it's not fun. And keeping them inside isn't fair. Like I want them to be outside and at least get some fresh air in their system. Just be able to move around outside. Inside the house not fun. I'm feeling you. I feel caged as well. I escaped to the grocery store. And no joke, it was like just convenience. It was like a food basics, like 30 seconds from my house. I ran in, I buy like 10 things. Excuse me, I was gonna run out and be like quick. I got there. It was like the busiest club I'd ever been to. There was a line outside, VIP guy with a velour rope, and I walk in. He's like, "No bags, no bags. There's a no bag policy. What's going on right now?" It was just like it was like the highlight of my week. I left the house once this week. I left the house twice the week before. Like it's just I'm ready. Like, new variant came out. The UK variant came out. This ain't cool. I'm not happy about anything. To answer your question, barely surviving. Thank God we're doing this.
Thank God. That calls for another shot.
Yeah. What you drinking, baby?
A little bit of Captain Mo.
Oh, okay. A little Mo for the Mo. All right.
That's it, baby.
All right, my man. So we were supposed to record this a couple weeks ago before the turn of the year. Today's conversation is New Year's Eve hookups, memories, anything else that goes along the way, great stories. Why don't we start here? Why don't we start with like what does New Year's mean to you in the calendar? Is it a high or low priority?
It starts off as a high. I know you shouldn't be making resolutions at the beginning of the year. You should always be making resolutions. But yeah, it's a high. It's a new start, a fresh new start. A chance to buy some new cookies and a glass of milk.
Yeah. For me, I feel like I always look to New Year's as probably the social get together of the year. Christmas is always a big deal, but New Year's was kind of like, let's get rid of the old, in with the new. Let's party hardy. I always look forward to it. So let's start there. Let's start with just maybe. I mean, this is a not safe for work podcast, but I also want to kind of not forget some of the camaraderie that goes along with it. We'll get into the good, but let's just talk like, do you have one epic year that was like such a big deal for you, or a New Year's Eve party that's such a big deal for you?
Yeah, but do you want me to tell that story now or wait?
Oh shit. Okay. I was just gonna put it out there. Like I'm a couple years older than you, but it was 1999, Y2K baby.
Oh shit.
And this ties in to kind of the context of this podcast. But at the time, I had like my high school girlfriend. Our families were close, and obviously we were close. We had probably been banging for like a year or two at this point, so like life was pretty good. But my mom, being old school Italian in a sense, was not cool with the idea of us going out for Y2K. World gonna explode, shut down, taxi cabs driving into each other for no reason, all the craziness. So she insisted that you dressed up for the occasion.
I did, buddy. It's a special occasion, man.
Very nice.
First episode of 2021.
Yeah, thank you for dressing up. I've got the double blue on, repping the Leafs double. Anyways, yeah. So thanks for dressing up. So she insists that my girlfriend at the time invite her family, and the two families do New Year's Eve together. So I was like, whatever. She's like, you can go afterwards. I'm too nervous and I just don't know. So I don't want to, just in case. All right, whatever. So you guys can go out after. So that was the plan. So our families got together. We ordered in Chinese food. Everything was great. We had a great time. Here's where the story gets fun. My sister at the time, so this is 99. So she's like 11 years old. We're trying to find a good countdown. We're going back and forth between like the US and the Canadian, blah, blah, blah. And at the time, City TV was Channel 7. I don't know if it still is.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, well, I don't know if it is now, but yeah, it was. I remember Channel 7.
Yeah, right? Okay, so she clicks 777 instead of 007, and it goes to the porno channels. So 10 seconds before New Year's Eve, the ball's about to drop. We see this dude, big ass balls, just slamming into a, like she puts on like whatever. I remember looking right over, like look right over at my girlfriend's family, like her parents. Dad goes beet red, but starts laughing. The mom is just like in shock. She sees this big wang just plowing, and my girlfriend's younger brother is like on the floor laughing. My younger brother on the floor laughing. I've got tears like blowing out of my face. My girlfriend's turning deep red. Funny, family, wholesome moment. Nothing says a new year like a big dick in your ass.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
I got one question for you.
Yeah.
Was it fuzzy, like the channel, or was
no,
it?
No, it was legit.
Clear?
It was legit.
Oh, so they had like premium cable or something because.
Well, it was back in the day where you had like the box, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, whatever, like illegal streaming up today, back in 1999, baby. So yeah, and then it was so funny because I remember leaving like 5 minutes after New Year's, and we went right to her friend's house, and everyone was already sloshed, and her friend had this weird breakup. Her friend was like crying in the basement. We had to go downstairs to console her. In my back of my head, I'm like, I think this might turn to a threesome. It did not. No, it did not. But that's like that. That was the first thing in my mind. I'm like, this might be a really good time tonight. This might be what. Maybe we'll make our own video.
Like,
anyways,
to your penthouse.
Yeah, exactly, right. So, anyways, that was I want to start this just to kind of set the tone for this this pod. I think it's going to be a good time. So
that's a sexy start, buddy. Like,
thank you, my man. Thank you. So that was 99. I mean, a lifetime ago today, but the good stuff didn't come till later years. Like at the time, I was like probably like 99, 16, 17, I was like 17 years old, right? So it wasn't that, no, I was 16, 7, yeah. Anyways, whatever. 17 years old. It's when I was 27, I was partying way harder than that. You go on, you give me like your best New Year's hookup story or whatever.
All right,
relating to New Year's.
Well, the reason why I didn't want to reveal it beforehand is because this was my first cougar. Oh. And we called her Aunt Zippy. Now, I don't know why. I can't remember for the life of me why she was called Aunt Zippy, but she just went by. Anytime she'd introduce herself, it was Aunt Zippy. I don't remember what her real name was. Doesn't matter anymore. But if you're out there, Aunt Zippy, this one's for you.
One to Aunt Zippy. Pour one out for Aunt Zippy.
We're on a little liquor. Yeah, no, she. It was a buddy of mine. And my girl at the time, she was very sick, and we were actually going to break up anyways. So I had nothing to do on New Year's Eve. So my buddy is single at the time, and he messaged me. He's like, "Oh, what's going down tonight?" I'm like, "You tell me. I'm in a relationship, buddy. I live vicariously through you." And he's like, "Okay, hold up. Let me find out." So he comes back 20 minutes later. He's like, "Okay, my parents are throwing a party. I mean, not the best option, but there'll be drinks, there'll be alcohol, there'll be older people, so it's something." So I'm like, okay, give me 1 sec. So I sweet talk my girl, and like, what, I want to stay here with you and make sure you're okay, but I mean, Dim keeps blowing my phone up. She's like, yeah, just go. You know what? Just go have fun. I'm like, solid. So he comes and grabs me. We go up to his place. And I mean, for lack of a better word, like the party was shit. It was just a bunch of old people, just kind of chilling, mingling. Until Aunt Zippy walks in the room. And I'm telling you, man, you're prototypical like Barbie doll girl.
Okay.
Blonde hair, big luscious tits, thin. She's probably in her 40s, maybe mid 40s. I don't think she was in her 50s. I never found that out. I didn't care.
And you're how old?
I'm probably, so I came back from Vancouver. I'm probably 22.
Oh yeah.
22. Yeah, I'm about 22 years old. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm playing the shy guy. I'm just there having drinks with my boy, giving her a little glance. She's obviously not there with anyone because if you're that hot, you're not going to be at some sort of like parent soiree, all right, man? Like,
yeah.
It doesn't matter. And so, hours pass by, liquid courage, starts to come out, and I wander myself over. And we just start shooting the shit. And again, I don't know what we talked about. I don't know what she said, what I said. I don't know what kind of cheesy pickup line I used.
Yeah,
but whatever it was working. We had some chemistry, and my boy was getting a little jealous. So he sidestepped in and he was trying to schmooze her, and she was laughing. She liked the fact that two young guys, two young
guys,
lines,
yeah.
paying attention. So the clock was about to strike 12, and we're looking at each other like, who's she gonna kiss? And my boy was confident. He's like, oh, she's gonna kiss me, man. This is my parents' house, man. I got
He's
this.
He's gonna kiss his hands.
Yeah, I got this on lock. And I'm like, all right, we'll find out. So we're doing the countdown, and I think it was on City TV too, man, with the countdown. That's the funny thing. And we're going, and then she grabs so she's in between my buddy and I. So it's like a Aunt Zippy sandwich happening.
Yeah.
She turns to him, but then swerves him, turns to me, grabs my shirt, locks me in for a kiss right at 12. You get it, boy. Yeah. And I'm not even mad, man. I'm not even thinking of it's bad looking back at it, but I'm not even thinking about my missus. And next thing you know, she whispers something in my ear. She's like, meet me upstairs in about 20 minutes. Woo! I'm like, "Ooh, get it, boy." And, I met her 25 minutes. I run on island time, as you already know. And, we start fooling around, and I was trying to get her name. I was like, I want to call her name. She's like, no. She's like, there's only one rule. You got to call me Aunt Zippy. And I'm like, are you serious?
And I get hot in here, baby.
Yeah, man. I'm like, oof. Yeah, I was just like, Aunt Zippy. He's like, yeah. He's like, nothing gets done until you call me Aunt Zippy. And I'm like,
oh. Let's see if she got Instagram. Aunt Zippy, at Aunt Zippy.
Actually, I might check that out after this. But yeah, long story short, got it done. I yelled probably Aunt Zippy maybe like 30, 40 times that night. But that was always memorable because it was like my first coup,
Damn.
You read the
You always remember your first.
Yeah, and you just watch movies like American Pie and stuff, or just like cougars, and it was fantastic. I had the biggest smile, like Grinch smile on my face for probably about like a month. So thank
you. You never asked your homeboy? You never who is this Aunt Zippy?
So apparently, I did ask him later. Apparently,
because if it was good, you might have to go for another visit.
Yeah,
the next family get together.
Yeah, like another helping, right?
What are you guys doing for Easter? Aunt Zippy gonna be there?
It's like, no, all right, forget about it. Yeah, no. She was a friend of the family's. Apparently, her dad was loaded. So she was just a rich kid, basically, trust fund kid.
Damn.
But yeah, nothing ever came. I never really saw her again. I think bumped into her one other time, like a year later. But I think she was with some rich guy. But
she used and abused you, man.
She did, and I'm okay with it.
She did. Your smile, for those who listen and not watching on YouTube, Mel's smile is ear to ear. You might have a Miss Aunt Zippy tattoo somewhere.
You know what? I might be on the bullseye, right?
Yeah, man. Damn. I'm always those random party hookups always were my favorite because the spontaneity was all there. It was very romantic in the sense, right? So I definitely get why it happens, and it is what it is. But New Year's, your buddy's friend of the family, hot aunt, that's a big win, man. Those are 2 scoops of raisins for me, baby.
Bro, I think she just wanted a hot chocolate chip cookie, man.
That's exactly what it was, man.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. All right, listen, my two stories.
All right.
One is a camaraderie story of good times, cheers, funny. The other one is more appropriate for the pod. But the first one, New Year's, I can't remember what it is. Maybe I guess 2009, maybe, which doesn't sound like that long ago, but it's 11 years ago. And my wife and I just started dating. I'm like, we're doing New Year's with me and my buddies. We're gonna do a banquet hall thing. It's gonna be lots of fun. She's like, yeah, cool, man. It sounds better than what my friends are doing. So we all go. It's one of those things you pay $100, you get dinner, unlimited drinks, dance, that kind of stuff. Everyone's looking good. My buddy, who I worked with at the time, his name is Joe. And we were good working bros, like both kind of same idea, especially in my field. Like usually if you see 2 or 3 guys in a salon, maybe barbershop might be different, but like salon, like probably one of them's gay, and like he might still be gay, who knows, I don't know. But like he's like, what do you do New Year's? I'm like, well, we're gonna go do this banquet hall thing, you should come with us. You'll have like 5 wing guys because we're all in relationships. So there's actually Kyle, who's probably listening to this, he was the only other guy not in a relationship. But I had like 6 close buddies, or 6 guys, all really close, and they all best bros, tight knit. And we all had significant others except for Kyle. So Joe, no, actually, I think our other buddy didn't have a girl. Anyway, whatever. The point of the matter is, we were going to be there for Joe. So the night goes on, and everyone's like drinking obsessively. Like, we know the bartender. She's like, she's getting us drunk before we even get to the bar. Everything's like awesome. Like we're all having a good time. Everyone is like cloud 9, like happy sitcom, great time. The music like pumping. We're all like busting sweat on the dance floor. Well, Joe gets like really drunk, and Kyle, for that matter, I'm pretty sure was pretty drunk. He's gonna call me after he listens to this. He's gonna be like, I wasn't that drunk, but the fact of the matter is, he's pretty drunk. And he actually he didn't have as good as night as everyone else did. He was getting over a breakup, I think, at the time, so he wasn't like in the best state of mind, but he was still coming out being a good sport about it. But the party happens. The night closes. Everyone's like arm in arm. Everyone's happy. We go back to our place, and we had just bought me and my buddy had just bought a house. Kyle was living with us, and it was kind of like the hangout house, but it wasn't like a frat house, which is nice.
Yeah.
But like we definitely had some like massive parties. Well, we had some great parties, I'll say. Not massive because we didn't want the place to get ruined, but we had great parties there, including this post New Year's Eve party. And Joe comes, and Joe was like so drunk, he then adopts this nickname. The nickname is Joe Retardo. And that might not be PC in 2021, but Joe Retardo was like, he was like on another planet, man. Like his eyes weren't matching up. His eyes weren't lining up. He was all over the place. He was saying crazy, wild things. So we get home. We're all kind of like snacking on food, whatever. And Joe's like, can I eat something in your fridge? Yeah, whatever you need, man. So me and the girlfriend, my wife, I should say, we go our separate ways. The other couples go their separate ways. And I'm just like, whatever, man. Hopefully the house doesn't burn down. Joe Retardo's downstairs doing something. No joke, the next morning, Joe Retardo's nowhere to be found. Oh, but in my toaster oven, there's a pizza with fucking Fruit Loops on top of it. In my oven, there's a bowl of Fruit Loops with like lunch meats on it. I'm like, what is going on here? My microwave, there's a bag of popcorn. There's all this food that was made that he never ate. Like my guess, he claimed, I asked him about it after, he claimed that he doesn't remember anything. But he basically, what I assume happened is he was just like super drunk looking something. He probably forgot all the things or whatever, his ride came to pick him up or whatever, and he just dipped and he just left everything as is. But it was like, when you wake up, it's like the hangover where you're trying to piece things together and figure out how it happened. The Legend of Joe Retardo. That was just like a fun night. I remember it being good. I hope everyone else who was there remembered it being good.
I'm sure it was a legendary status.
Fuck, man, that was a plan. Now, my favorite kind of like hookup, I can't remember what the year was, but it might have been the year after or the year before. No, you know what? It's definitely the year before because I met my wife. So it was the year before. I went out with Joe Retardo again, except he wasn't Joe Retardo at the time. He was just regular Joe. And we went to this bar, and Mississauga folk will remember this. I don't think it's still there, but it was better known as West 50. But before that, it was like Dick's, which was like a shitty dive bar, 5 square one, and it was just like whatever. It was like it had a cool patio, and it kind of, I don't know, whatever. It was nice. And right behind it was like the not the Intercontinental. I can't remember the hotel that's behind it, but whatever. There's like a Hojo or something behind it. So the plan was we were just gonna party and see what happens. So Joe and I had a hotel room, and we were gonna like party and then just crash, and whatever happened. We met these 2 girls, and things got going. His girl was like a shorter, like red hair, short hair, kind of funky girl, but she had like a huge gap between her teeth.
Oh, damn!
Like not like a little bit, like a little fashionable, but like like just too much. But she was very nice, whatever. She's a cool party girl, whatever. Her friend, tall, slim, long brown hair, black hair, like really pretty face. I was like, oh my God, I love this girl. And we start dancing, everything's good. We're buying drinks are flowing. We're like, let's listen. We got a hotel room. We don't put any pressure on you guys. You want to come party with us? Cool. If not, it was a fucking blast. Obviously, they come. So me and this girl are going back to the room, and I was like, fuck, man, I am not prepared for this. I didn't bring any protection. I didn't think I was gonna hook up. I was just like, just there for a good time, whatever. Joe and this girl fucking disappear. And like, I'm calling his phone, nothing. We're like, she's calling her phone, whatever. No one can figure out what's going on. I'm like, oh fuck, like, oh they're okay. Like I'm sure they're okay, but like whatever. Me and this girl, we just ended up like kind of like making out, whatever. Like nothing like we didn't hook up or anything like that. We just kind of like whatever. To be honest, like she was really paranoid about her friend. She probably has a history of making bad mistakes. And Joe Retardo is Joe Retardo, so for sure it's a bad mistake. So I call his phone probably like 30, 40 times. She calls her phone 34 times. Nothing. I get a phone call at 7:00 the next morning, and he like Joe Retardo's all like, "Hey man, yeah, no, sorry, Mr. Call, yeah, no, we're here. We're actually in the hotel." Like, what? So I'm like, whatever. Go to his hotel room, and he answers the door, fucking naked. And like we're not like we're buddies, but we're not that close buddies.
Yeah.
And so we get into the like we basically kick in the door. We're like, what happened here last night? Like we're going through everything. Like me and this girl, and like we're acting like the police. We're like, what's going on here? No joke, dude. You want to hear about like the room smelled horrible. The room didn't smell like sex. It smelled probably like that the girl in the leather skirt, like
what, her stank?
Yeah, exactly. It didn't smell good. But what it did smell like was like it had like a floral scent, and I was like, I didn't think it was like a body wash or like a deodorant. I figured it out because I found it on the nightstand. They use hand cream as lube. So Joe comes over to me and he's like, "Hey man, you fucker." I'm like, "No, dude, you fucking ruined my night because you just fucking disappeared." She was paranoid about her roommate, and I was like, not gonna deal with any of that. So no, thanks for ruining my night though. That's cool. Did you have a good night? He's like, yeah, dude, I fucked her in the ass. I'm like, oh. He's like, yeah, we didn't have any lube, so I'm like, let me guess. The complimentary hand cream? He's like, yeah. I'm like, put some pants on and let's get out of here. So like obviously he fucked this girl in the ass, and I don't know if she was a pro at it or not, but I'm like, you should probably buy her breakfast, right? Like, you shouldn't probably just fuck her in the ass with hand cream and then not buy her breakfast. So we bought her breakfast. Dude, here's the crazy part. We get to breakfast. Everything's kind of cool. We're all like chit-chatting. Everyone's like getting along. It's almost like a double date. Until we're waiting in line at Skyway Jack's in fucking Meadowville. And the girl that he fucked in the A is in the restaurant. We're standing waiting to be served. She fucking drops like she's dead. We scoop her off the ground. We put her in one of those waiting chairs. And her friend's like, wake up. And she wakes up and she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just really hungry. When's the last time you ate? I don't know, like yesterday around lunchtime. Then you went out and partied, and then you drank like crazy, and then you got effed in the A, and now you're deciding to eat?
Yeah. So, damn, girl.
The breakfast was so awkward. A, we knew that she got ass blasted. She just collapsed. The whole restaurant was staring at us like we were two criminals. So like it was the most awkward breakfast. We finished. We exchanged numbers. They never saw each other again. I talked to that girl for like 2 weeks, and then she dropped me because the whole reason she was at that bar is because she was flirting with this bartender, and she wanted to hook up with the bartender. I ended up, whatever. So it was a long story, but whatever. Those are my two craziest New Year's. There might be another one in there, but those are the ones I can remember. New Year's is a motherfucker, my man.
Damn, man. Like,
I
feel like that story had everything. Everything you could ask.
There might be a movie one day. Who knows?
Right?
Like, here's a crazy thing. I played sports like my whole life. My adulthood, I played sports. I'm not weirded out by seeing another guy's dick. Like, I've seen enough of them, right? But seeing Joe's like weird looking dick. I shouldn't say it's not weird looking. It's just weird looking to me. And now like I kind of get it a little bit more when like girls are like, oh, his dick looked weird, but his dick did definitely look weird. And not to like paint this picture too much.
Yeah.
But think of an arrow. You know what an arrow looks like?
Yeah.
Like skinny and then a fucking oblong head. That's kind of what it looked like. And then I couldn't stop staring at Tori, the girl that he hooked up with, and being like, yo, I hope he didn't go ATM. Because if he went ATM, like we're handshaking and that's the end of it. Like that's the end of the conversation. The also crazy thing is I chatted with this girl. You kids call it like talking, but chatted with this girl for like 2-3 weeks afterwards. Her boss ended up becoming a client of mine for years, and would always talk to me about like that night and like how those girls came into work because they had worked together as well. Came in for like days talking about how much fun they had, and the girl, that the F and the A girl, would talk about how much fun she had and how like she wanted something with Joe, and Joe Retardo was like, nah, I'm good actually.
I feel like she may have given that her back door up a little too soon, where your boy's just like, well, I already milked the cow, so I don't gotta buy it.
That's exactly what happened. Like she'd known him for all of like, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe 4 hours at the most at that time. I don't know. Yeah, she probably did, but the crazy thing is like it's not even like the first time I've heard like a first night hookup where anal was involved, which blows my mind because, like, I mean, I feel like that's not something you do first.
What, F and the A?
Yeah, like maybe if you're really Christian, you do that. I don't know, but like, I don't.
Yeah, I feel like that's you've been together maybe more than 24 hours.
Yeah, exactly. More than one day.
Yeah.
Like actually, that reminds me. Like I had the my last long-term relationship before I met my wife. The sister was like an art student. Like they were like artsy family, but she preferred it. And she would one time we were like hanging at her house, and she's like, "I'm just gonna warn you, I've got gas, and I can't stop it, and it smells like potato chips. So like, if you smell potato chips, you probably smell my fart."
Did she specify on like what brand or?
No, yeah, right. Like, is it more like a corn tortilla chip or is it like a potato chip? Like it blew my mind, and so I looked at my girlfriend. I'm like, "What the fuck is she talking about?" She leaned over. She goes, "She's a little bit of a butt pirate, so it's probably pretty loose." I'm like, "What is going on? The art school chicks are fucked to begin with." That brought it to the next level. For me, I was like, "There's something wrong here. Like I gotta get an exit plan." The other crazy thing, I don't know if I ever told you this before, or we talked about it, but her sister had a basement apartment at her parents' place, and she had this art project she got 99% on, and it was like 5 photos, and each photo was her in the same pose, but there was less and less clothes until the end of the photograph, the end of the parting photographs. The last one she was naked in, and she got an A+. Imagine that. The art teacher saw a naked photo of a underage girl, or maybe like, I don't know, like 19-year-old girl, and gave her an A+. You don't say.
Gee, I wonder what gender the art teacher was.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, New Year's can be a motherfucker, man. Like, I'm a high and low on New Year's. Like before, when I was like young and wild, fine. You spent $100 on a ticket. That means I drank for free. I ate and drank for free. Cool, because most places like $20, $40 cover. You're gonna deal with that plus overpriced drinks. This just seemed like a home run to do this. I've done the banquet hall a bunch of times, but I mean, I don't think I can think of a bad time going and doing that. But New Year's, man, like you buy threads, drink money, cover, like, you're all in at the end of the night. You made me like, that's a hotel room, like at least $500. That seems crazy now. Like now that I have a mortgage, and it's like, yeah, $500 on a night, probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's probably not doable now, but back then, it's something you always looked forward to, and you didn't mind.
Working for the weekend, right?
That's it, buddy. You just throwing that cash around. I'm saving for New Year's, man, because I'm gonna fuck some girl in the ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. Like I can remember like my younger days. It's like, okay, we'll do it. We'll go to the club on New Year's. Whatever is fine. Even that, I remember like when you went to. I'm trying to remember what club it was. I think it was Body English. I might be wrong though. Like went there for New Year's and it was fine, but it wasn't like the same. Like when people are dressed up, like a little bit more. I mean, like some of these people are throwing up in the bushes outside, but like sometimes people dress up. It's just like a little bit more of a prestige reason to get liquored up and party. I guess I don't know.
It's almost like Halloween, right? Gives the ladies an excuse to dress like whores, and just go out and.
Yo, we forgot to do our disclaimer too, man.
My apologies, women. I love you all, especially those ones that get down and dirty, like it's nobody's business. But like on Halloween, you know who you are. You do it purposely. All right.
Yeah. I hate the argument where it's like I should wear what I want and not have to worry about guys subjecting me. Like, well, come on, guys. Like, this is a two-way street here. This isn't just like I get to do whatever I want and not have the repercussions. Like, my kid doesn't eat her dinner, she's not getting dessert. Like, at the end of the day, you're gonna dress like that. You're gonna garner that attention. Fine, you're right. You shouldn't be harassed. But come on, like, let's do some math here too. You can't just do whatever you want and then be okay with it. There's going to be repercussions.
Oh yeah, I remember I was at this one club, and this girl was a friend of a friend, so she was just dancing, shaking her ass. She was wearing basically Daisy Dukes on the dance floor and getting all types of attention, and she wasn't having it. She comes up to me, she's like, why are guys bugging me? What's going on? I'm like, well, maybe because you're half naked.
Yeah,
that just might be a reason. Call me crazy.
Maybe you're good looking and not wearing a lot. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess the same way. Like, listen, like if I was ripped, do you think I would be wearing sleeves right now? Probably not. Like, hold on. It is 21 degrees in the studio right now. If I was ripped, I'd probably be wearing a tank top.
Yeah, you think I'd be wearing this bow tie and this tuxedo?
I mean, you're a classy broad, maybe. I don't know.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, let me ask you this. Like, we'll tie this off soon, but when it comes down to New Year's Eve bust, not that kind of bust, my man, not Aunt Zippy kind of bust, but like,
oh, she was covered in bust.
Do you have like a total bust of a New Year's, like a waste of a night?
Yeah, I think I have a couple of them. One that comes to mind, I was probably about 19 actually, and a girl that I used to work with, she was having a party, and my plans had just got spoiled. I can't recall why. So her and I were just going back and forth, and she had like a big house, like something down on Lakeshore in Burlington. And she's like, you know what? I got a couple people coming over. My parents have endless supply of booze. Fuck, man, just make your way down and we'll have fun. And I'm like, I thought about it. At first, I was like, no thanks. But I was just really bored. When you're sitting at home and you're just fucking bored.
Yeah, frustrated because you're bored.
Yeah, because your original plans didn't go down. I'm always up for causing some trouble. Dipping my hand in that cookie jar, but I couldn't. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go. So I head down, and she greets me. We're her. She's the youngest. She's the baby. So her sister and her brother have their significant others over. Her parents are somewhere in another room. She's got some other friends over. I'm definitely out of place. This is like this half breed, light skinned kid surrounded by a bunch of white people, like high class, high society, white folks. And I'm just like, I felt out of place right then and there. But I'm like, I'm going to make the most out of the situation. So she, I go in, she gets me a beer, we're drinking. It's her brother. Like, she gets up to get me another drink. Her brother looks at me and he says, if you touch her, I'll fucking kill you.
Awesome.
And I start laughing, and he starts laughing at it. And then, when they're like, ha, in the serious face?
Yeah, totally.
I'm just like, okay, I can't be drunk off like 2-3 beers, right? Like, did that just happen? So it just made it a little awkward. And then she's like, oh, let's go in the hot tub. I'm like, well, I didn't bring anything to go in a hot tub.
Yeah.
She's like, well, that's the whole point. I'm like, okay,
Your brother threatened to kill me.
Yeah. And I didn't mention that either because, I didn't want to make it awkward. So we go in the hot tub. I actually go in my underwear because I was just so petrified of this guy. Yeah. Like, just in case he's like snooping around in the bushes or something. So it's fun. And then we go inside. I'm wiping myself off. And he walks up to me and he looks. He's like, remember what we talked about? If you touch her, I'll kill you. I'm like, all right. I was actually about to leave, but she said, why don't you come in the room with me?
Oh my God.
get a little comfortable. So I'm like, all right, fine. So I follow her to her room. We just kind of like talked and, started making out and shit. And then all of a sudden, I just hear this big thump. So I don't know if someone threw a shoe or whatever. It was someone threw an object at the door.
Right.
And I just look at her and I'm like, you know what? I like you. You're cool. But yo, I do not want to die at 19. All right. This will be an unsolved mystery, and he'll get away with it. Fuck this shit. I'm going home, man. So I I called a cab, and it took me a while because this was like probably around 1, 2 in the morning. But long story short, I got the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
it was just really awkward. Turned me off, like who knows? I
Totally.
wouldn't be on this podcast right now if I had fucking stayed.
R.I.P. baby.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so crazy.
It was just nuts, man. It was just like relax. First of all, she's 19. If her parents didn't give a fuck, why would you give a fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just older brothers being protective.
I get it, but still, it's just like, is it because my dick's bigger than yours? Like,
you don't like my tan? What's up, baby?
Yeah, brown all around, baby.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'd say that was probably the most awkward. But no, I'm a chill person, so I try to make the best out of every situation.
Good.
Especially if there's an Aunt Zippy involved.
Yeah, you gotta keep your eyes open for Aunt Zippy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice way to salute Aunt Zippy. R.I.P. baby. If not, then I'll whatever. My man, I think my glass of milk is empty. I think it's time to call this session of Milk and Cookies. Where can the good people find you?
Well, of course, you can find us on the Not After 30 channel. Got Wow Ahead Mustard. That's the originator. I'll be doing things the Milky Way as always. You can also find me on a new podcast with Ball Walker called Nothing But Miss. It's a basketball podcast for you ball fans out there, and we do nothing but put bricks up, baby. So, come join us.
What's up, and Zippy? All right, guys, you can find Wow I Had Mustard on Instagram as well as Melky Blackzilla _25.
27.
Find us NA30 Podcast or Not After 30 Podcast on Instagram. I'm Anthony El Jefe for the Milkman. The Milk and Cookies are done for now. Ciao, baby.
Peace.